Hello and welcome to Impact History. Today we are going over a pivotal time that literally reshaped the world as we know it. History often pivots dramatically on a single year. 1492 was undeniably one of those years. In Spain, two monumental events converged, forever altering the destiny of the nation and the world. First, the centuries-long Reconquista reached its conclusion. The Christian kingdoms reclaimed their lands from Muslim rule. This led to the unification of Spain. This victory forged a powerful, ambitious nation. Spain was now eager to expand its horizons. The second pivotal event involved Christopher Columbus. He convinced Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand to fund his plan to sail west across the Atlantic to reach Asia. Spain, emboldened by its recent victory and flush with resources, was ready to gamble on this audacious endeavor. Their decision unleashed a chain of consequences. These two events were deeply connected. The Reconquista provided Spain with the resources necessary to support Columbus's voyage. Columbus's success gave Spain a new purpose: the pursuit of exploration, colonization, and conquest. 1492 marked the dawn of the modern world, a time of bravery and cruelty. Discovery intertwined with destruction. Maps were redrawn, empires rose, the lives of millions were altered. The foundations of our world were forged in that crucible. Two events, one world forever altered. The Reconquista wasn't a single war, but rather a series of conflicts spanning centuries between the Christian and Muslim kingdoms vying for control of the Iberian Peninsula. It was a long and arduous struggle. For nearly 800 years, a significant portion of medieval history, Christian kingdoms in the northern regions steadily pushed southward, challenging the established Muslim-ruled Al-Andalus. Al-Andalus flourished as a prominent center of learning, innovation and culture, with its magnificent cities like Córdoba and the breathtaking Granada shining brightly across the European continent. This protracted struggle profoundly shaped Spain's identity. Deeply militarized, intensely religious, and fiercely united in purpose, knights and soldiers, celebrated for their bravery, became national heroes, and the Catholic Church experienced a significant surge in power and influence. Spain's near-constant state of warfare honed its military skills to a razor's edge, mastering siege tactics, developing formidable naval power, and efficiently organizing large, well-equipped armies. In the waning years of the 1400s, the marriage of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand politically united the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon, allowing them to focus their combined power and resources on finally conquering Granada. After a relentless decade-long siege, Granada finally surrendered in the pivotal year of 1492. The centuries-long Reconquista had finally reached its end. For the first time in centuries, the entirety of Spain was united under Christian rule, marking a new era. This hard-won victory bequeathed Spain a powerful and experienced army, a strong and cohesive national identity, and ambitious rulers eager for further glory. With neighboring Portugal already actively exploring the coasts of Africa, Spain was eager to embark on its own grand mission of exploration and expansion. The conclusion of the Reconquista created a nation poised and ready to look outward, driven by a thirst for new frontiers and opportunities. Spain's next chapter, filled with both promise and peril, would be written not within the confines of Europe, but across the vast and uncharted expanse of the ocean. The stage was meticulously set for a bold and transformative new adventure. An ambitious Italian navigator was about to approach the Spanish court, offering Spain a chance at a new and potentially glorious destiny. The world, as it was known, was poised on the brink of change again. Spain's newfound unity, coupled with its unwavering ambition, would soon play a pivotal role in reshaping the entire globe. The transformative age of exploration was about to officially begin, and Christopher Columbus, with his audacious plan, was waiting patiently in the wings for his moment. Christopher Columbus, driven by the vision of reaching Asia by sailing west, sought royal patronage for his voyage. After years of seeking support from Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, the monarchs agreed to fund Columbus's voyage in 1492. He set sail with 3 ships. The journey was perilous, and the crew's morale plummeted. On October 12, 1492, land was sighted. He landed on an island in the Bahamas. Believing he had reached Asia, Columbus was unaware he had discovered a new continent. This voyage opened the door to a new world, changing history forever. The age of discovery had begun, reshaping the world. Spain's gamble brought wealth and power, but at a tremendous cost. The world would never be the same. the consequences of this encounter would be profound. Columbus didn't find Asia, but a world unknown to Europeans. He met the Taino, peaceful islanders with rich cultures and societies. For them, the arrival of Europeans was a shock, a collision of worlds. Columbus's voyages sparked a wave of Spanish exploration and conquest. Hardened veterans of the Reconquista, the conquistadors followed, seeking gold and glory. They brought horses, steel, and deadly diseases. Cortés conquered the Aztec Empire. Pizarro toppled the Incas. Superior weapons, alliances, and especially disease devastated native populations. Gold and silver poured into Spain, making it Europe's richest nation. For indigenous peoples, it was a catastrophe. Empires destroyed, millions dead, cultures shattered. The Americas were forever changed. The Spanish Empire rose on the ruins of ancient civilizations. The world's balance had shifted. The meeting of old and new worlds sparked the Columbian Exchange, a global swap of plants, animals, and diseases. American crops like potatoes, maize, tomatoes, and chili peppers transformed diets and fueled population booms in Europe and Asia. Chocolate, vanilla, and tobacco spread worldwide, changing economies and cultures. Europeans brought horses, cattle, wheat, and sugar to the Americas, reshaping landscapes and societies. Horses revolutionized life for many Native Americans. Sugar and coffee plantations drove demand for labor, with devastating consequences. Most tragically, Europeans brought diseases like smallpox and measles. Native populations, with no immunity, suffered catastrophic losses, up to 90% in some areas. The Great Dying was a human tragedy on an unimaginable scale. The Columbian Exchange remade the world's pantry and its peoples. Diets, economies, and populations were transformed. The biological and cultural impact was global and permanent. The world would never be the same. Spain's new empire was built on three pillars: gold, God, and glory. The quest for gold drove conquest. Aztec and Inca treasures, silver from Potosi, and treasure fleets made Spain rich. Religious zeal, forged in the Reconquista, fueled a mission to spread Catholicism. Missionaries followed conquistadors, converting millions, often by force. Indigenous beliefs were suppressed. Catholicism became a tool of control. Glory motivated both nation and individuals. Spain's empire stretched from California to Chile and even to Asia. The colonies existed to enrich Spain, not as equal partners. Trade was tightly controlled. Wealth flowed one way. This system, mercantilism, made Spain powerful but also sowed inequality and exploitation. The Spanish Empire was the world's first global superpower. Its legacy was both brilliant and brutal. Gold, God, and glory shaped a new world order. The costs were immense. 1492 triggered a global shift in power and wealth. Trade moved from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Spain, Portugal, England, France, and the Netherlands became new global powers. Rivalries erupted as nations raced for colonies and riches. Wars, piracy, and colonization redrew the world's map. Gold and silver from the Americas caused massive inflation, the price revolution, reshaping Europe's economy. Capitalism began to rise, fueled by new wealth and global trade. The demand for plantation labor led to the transatlantic slave trade. Millions of Africans were enslaved and transported to the Americas. This brutal system enriched Europe but devastated Africa and the Americas. The roots of today's global economy and its inequalities lie in this era. The world was now interconnected, for better and for worse. The consequences would echo for centuries. What if Spain had never unified? A patchwork of Christian and Muslim states might have survived. Al-Andalus could have remained a center of culture and learning in Europe. Without unity, Columbus likely wouldn't have found support. His voyage might never have happened. The Americas would have remained isolated longer, discovery delayed, and history rewritten. A surviving Al-Andalus could have fostered greater religious tolerance in Europe. The Spanish Inquisition might never have risen to power. The economic and political focus of Iberia would have stayed internal, not global. The world's timeline, and its cultures, would look very different. What if Columbus's voyage never happened? The Aztec and Inca empires might have thrived longer, developing on their own terms. Spain would not have become a superpower. Europe's balance of power would shift. The Columbian Exchange, and its population booms and tragedies, would have been delayed. The Great Dying in the Americas might have been averted. Eventually, another European would have crossed the Atlantic, but when and who? The encounter could have been very different. Stronger American empires, new colonizers, a changed world. The course of colonization and global history would be unrecognizable. The world we know might never have existed. The legacies of the Reconquista and Columbus's voyages are everywhere. They launched an age of discovery, exchange, and global connection. The Columbian exchange diversified diets, fueled population growth, and expanded knowledge. New cultures emerged in the Americas, blending European, indigenous, and African traditions. Spanish became a global language. Catholicism spread across continents. Global trade networks were born, shaping our modern world. But the cost was immense. Conquest, disease, and exploitation devastated indigenous peoples. The wealth of empires was built on forced labor and suffering. This dual legacy, progress and tragedy, still shapes our societies. 1492 brought worlds together and tore them apart. Understanding this history helps us see our world's connections and challenges. The story of 1492 is not just about the past. It's about how we became who we are. The turning points of history leave legacies that are both brilliant and deeply challenging. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey, and please be sure to like, subscribe, and tune in for more fascinating discoveries here on Impact History.